Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tashika Ma'at. I'm the founder of Jama Wealth Financial. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about whether or not you are moving forward on your financial journey or if you're moving backwards. We're going to be talking about the one number that is going to help you determine your financial progress. Because here's the thing. You may be saving a little bit of money each month, investing some, doing all the things right, but are you making progress? I've worked with hiring women who are doing all the right things on paper. They're saving, they're paying their bills. They think they're moving forward, but when we actually go underneath and look at their real numbers, they're actually going backwards. So I want you to watch this video to learn how you can take control so that you can start seeing forward progress with your own finances. So let's dive in. Here's what I see happening too often. When someone is asking, how are you doing financially? Your response is usually, I'm good, I'm making money. But when we look beneath the surface, there's some disconnect as to what's truly happening. You know your salary, you can tell me exactly how much you're making each year. But what I want to know is, do you know exactly how much is hitting your bank account? After contributions, after insurance, after taxes, how much money do you have to work with each month? And even more, do you know exactly what is going out and how much is going out of your account each month? And the key thing that I'm seeing that's missing is, your mortgage, your car note, probably how much you're putting towards your credit card. But what about those variable expenses, groceries, shopping, the little trips to pick up things that maybe you weren't planning to, but those little knickknacks? All of those things add up. Managing your finances is not just about looking at all the things with due dates. You also want to pay attention to the items that do not have a due date, because those are the things that I find that creep up all too often and is eating up your income. Because a lot of what I see happening too is you're making 180K and you're able to pay your bills, but you don't know exactly what's happening with that 180K. This often leads you to checking your bank account and having that feeling of like, where is all of my money going? What's actually happening? You're having all of these questions because of the lack of clarity and not having that full insight as to why your salary feels like it's disappearing each month. But don't worry, we're going to break it down a little bit further into what you can do to make sure you are on track and still making progress towards your financial goals. The one thing I want you to understand is that you can be making great money and still not making progress. Yes, you're paying your bills on time. Yes, you may pay your credit cards off every month. But if you're still feeling like there's no forward movement, that you're just feeling like you're in a hamster wheel, this is one of the reasons why. You're flying blind with your finances. So, as we talked about earlier, if you don't understand what's coming in and what's going out, that is part of the problem of why you're feeling overwhelmed and not understanding what's happening with your salary. The key thing you want to focus on is having direction, right? Imagine getting in your car and driving full speed 120 miles per hour, and you don't know if you're going north, south, east, and west. Yes, you're moving full speed. Maybe you're saving, you're investing and building. But if you don't know the destination, you could be going 120 miles in the wrong way. Part of understanding your cash flow is knowing exactly what you have to work with so you can decide the trajectory of where you're going, right? You don't want to continue flying blind with your finances. So, we're going to jump into how you can look at your overall finances and understand, are you closer to your destination? Are you kind of staying idle, or are you moving backwards? And that number is your net worth. So your net worth is like that health checkup. Make sure you are on the right pulse and things are moving according to your plan. You are looking at all of your assets, the things you own that are of value. So the value of your car, home, savings, investments, all of those things are your assets. The next thing is looking at your liabilities or debts, your student loans, mortgage, car note. Anything where you owe money will be part of that liability section. To calculate your net worth, you're essentially taking what you own minus what you owe, and that's going to give you your net worth value. Now, if you have student loans or a mortgage, most people, when they calculate their net worth for the first time, it's going to be negative. I don't want you to be alarmed if you have a negative net worth. That is just data to let you know your starting point and decide where you want to go. And this is going to be the tool that is going to help you measure, are you moving towards the freedom you've been desiring or further away from that goal? What really matters is the direction it's going. I feel like this is what most people miss. When you're looking at your net worth, you want to see that your assets are increasing, right? And your debts are decreasing. The wider the gap between how much you own versus your debts is what's going to allow you to see your overall financial picture. Your net worth is giving you a true measurement of your financial picture to see, are you actually making progress with your income? Because you can be making 200, 250, 300,000, but if you have a negative net worth, are you really making progress? If you're just paddling water in place, you're not moving, there's no direction. This is why it's important that this number here is going to help you understand, are you allowing yourself to move forward to where you can actually have freedom that your assets can take care of you? Because if you're making a high income, but your net worth is staying flat over time, that is the wake up call you need. Here's what I want you to understand. Most high earners are obsessed with the wrong number. You're focused on, oh, I make 200K. Okay, that's cool. But how is it helping you build wealth? Because I've seen women who are making 180K and have significant amount of debt and a negative net worth. And then I've worked with women who are making 80K, but yet their net worth is increasing over time. You see, it's not about the salary you're making, but how you're using that salary to create more of that freedom and ease through building up your net worth over time. You cannot manage what you don't measure. If you don't know how much is hitting your bank account each month, if you don't know how much is going out, if you don't have any idea what's happening with your overall financial picture of what you own versus what you owe, you are flying blind. You don't have clarity and understanding of what's truly happening with your finances. So you feel overwhelmed. You feel like you're making all this money, but you don't have anything to show for all the hard work and income that you're doing. And a lot of that boils down to the lack of clarity that you have with what's actually going on with your finances and whether or not you're making progress towards your financial goal. This is why tracking your net worth is so important. And it's so critical for high earners specifically because you're often focused on that salary, but not how that salary is working for you and creating more of that freedom. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to start tracking your net worth. And every quarter, you're going to look at this number and you're going to be looking to see, is this number increasing over time? Is it decreasing over time? Or is it just kind of staying flat? Because once you start seeing this number increasing, everything will shift. You'll start to see proof that, hey, yes, I can actually build, I can grow, I can create more freedom. But it's going to start with you tracking and measuring what's happening. You don't have to do this every single month. This can be at minimum quarterly, just to make sure you're seeing movement. You want to see the needle moving over time. When I started tracking my net worth, and this is at a time when I had negative six-figure net worth and wanted to get on the trajectory to build $1 million in net worth. At that time, I'm like, girl, who do you think you are trying to build $1 million when you got all this debt? Let me tell you the power behind shifting and looking forward at what I'm working towards. What that allowed me to do was look at my current finances and situation to see what is it that I needed to do to shift towards that trajectory, increasing my assets, focusing on investing and building up, reducing my debts, eliminating those debts that, was costing me a lot each month. And by focusing on those two numbers over time, I started seeing proof that, yeah, this is actually possible. I can build up to create $1 million in net worth. But it first starts with understanding, what is your cash flow? What is coming in? What is going out each month? And the gap between your income and expenses, that's what you can use to funnel to create more in terms of increasing your assets, your investments, your savings, and reducing your overall debts. So the one thing I want you to take away from this video is to understand that your salary is simply the income that comes in, but how you use that income is going to allow you to build and create more of that freedom for your life. And if you want to make it easier with your tracking, you can download an app like Monarch Money where you can calculate everything within the app. I'll drop a link in the description below. But honestly, you can simply use a pen and paper. You can also use a spreadsheet. The most important thing is that you become aware of this number, you become aware of this data. That is your starting point to help you start progressing forward on this journey. So if you've calculated your net worth and you're sitting there like, okay, Tashika, what am I supposed to do next? This is negative. I don't know where to start. You can always book a financial clarity call where we go through your numbers and review what's been happening with your finances and give you a roadmap so that you can start moving forward on the path to what you want for your life. The first step is to get clarity, understand what's been blocking you, and create a path moving forward. Your net worth is simply data that's going to help guide you and create the milestones that you need to move forward on your path. If you're ready to stop flying blind and start seeing proof of what's happening with your finances so that you can start making progress, I invite you to book a financial clarity call where we'll go over your numbers and look at what your next steps will be. But before I go, I want you to understand this. You cannot build wealth if you don't know where you are starting from. I want you to decide today that you're going to stop focusing on that salary number and start focusing on what's important that's actually going to move the needle for you, because you're making way too much money to not be making financial progress and having your money work for you. Drop in the comments, let me know. Did you calculate your net worth? Is it positive? Is it negative? How are you feeling when you see this number? If this video was a wake-up call for you, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I post new videos like this. And until next time, here's to your financial freedom.